make sure you like and subscribe, everyone, or else you won't be visited by this doggo when you're sleeping at night, and he will protect you. Hello, everyone, and today we're doing What If Deku Was Pikachu? Part 1. You know, there's only 2 what ifs I do believe on this one, at least from the ones I could find. So, we start this off when Deku was born. And since Eevee appeared to be so popular when I did this, Izuku comes out of the womb as a Pichu. Inko, she is questioning everything. She is like, Hisashi, are you a mouse? As she calls him on the phone, Hisashi's like, no. Are you? As Inko's like, I don't know anymore. As she hangs up the phone, what is happening? As she looks over to Izuku as a Pichu, and she's like, huh? How? When? Why? How did I give birth to a mouse? As she is having the biggest crisis ever. Anyway, Izuku, when he is eventually able to talk at the rightful age of 3, he looks over to his mom like, he doesn't say anything. He waves his hand as Inko's like, oh, hello. Ooh, what should I name you? I'll name you Pichu. As Izuku, then, starts clapping his hands like, nice. And when Deku is 4, he's taken to the quirk doctor, obviously. And Inko finds out that he has a quirk called Electric Mouse. I just said meows. Wait, no, there's nothing wrong with meows. Izuku, on the car ride back to their house, Izuku's like, that was fun. As Inko is like, you can talk? In what world? As Izuku's like, this one apparently. You cow? As Inko's like, what did you just say to me, young man? As she then shows him a picture like, this is what you could be if you don't take that back. As he sees, Mom, quirk, omnipotence. And Izuku is like, yes, ma'am, as I take it back. As Inko's like, that's what I thought, mortal. As she drives him back home. As Izuku, when he is around 8 years old, one day during elementary class, Bakugo confronts him like, oh, hi, Izuku. I mean, Pichu. Why did I say Izuku? And Bakugo... Izuku is like, oh, what is it, Bakugo? As Katsuki's like, well, Pichu, I feel that we should have a fight, you know? As Pichu's like, why would we do that? As Bakugo's like, why not? As they're outside later, and when they're outside, Izuku's confronted by Bakugo, and Bakugo immediately explodes him in the face. As Bakugo then gets headbutted in the stomach. As Bakugo's like, that was pretty good, Izuku. As Izuku is like, yeah, it was. That's not it, though. As he evolves into a Pikachu. No one likes Raichu. Hashtag cancel Raichu. Anyway. Izuku and his friend continue their fight. And eventually, towards the end, Izuku headbutts him into a tree. And then he screams, Thunderbolt! As Izuku electrocutes Bakugo. And the teacher comes outside like, Katsuki, are you okay? Izuku, detention, now! As Izuku's like, what's a detention? As the teacher checks if Bakugo's okay, and Bakugo's like, that was fun. as he has a black eye and is like, that was fun, as his hair is even more spiky. As the teacher's like, so are you okay, Bakugo? And Bakugo's like, of course I am. I'm Katsuki Bakugo. I'm the strongest one here. As the teacher looks behind herself like, maybe not. As Izuku's like, you forgot about me, Bakugo. And Bakugo, with his confidence just blown out the window, like, what did you just say to me, nerd? As Izuku then runs into the classroom. Anyway, onto middle school. Izuku, one time when he was talking with his friends, Izuku told them about a trip to Hawaii, as Inka wanted to meet up with Hisashi there. And Izuku's like, well, Bakugo, I'll be going to Hawaii this weekend. And Bakugo's like, but today's the last day of school though, right? And Izuku's like, yeah, I know. Bakugo's like, whatever you say, Pikachu. And Izuku's like, whatever you say, my butt. And when Izuku and Bakugo enter the classroom, the teacher then passes out a paper to them all. And after they all complete it, he collects them all and he says, interesting results, everyone. Well, for your career plans, Izuku and all of you, so for every one of my students, we'll start off with, who is it? What am I talking about? As he throws the paper into the air. I know you all want to be great heroes and run the hero course. As Bakugo then jumps onto his desk like, teacher, don't let me and Pikachu up with these losers. We're top-notch students, and we're great hero material. They are nothing to us. They couldn't even get close to Yue. As they all start bickering. And when school ends, Izuku goes to his house throughout the short way. And he doesn't encounter the sludge villain, cause that's why. And Izuku and his fam and Inko go to Hawaii, where when they get there, Hisashi meets them. And I'll imagine he looks like... I forgot what his name is. It's the PE instructor in Assassination Classroom. Karasumo, I believe. Yeah, it's something like that. It starts with a K, that's all I remember. Sorry, guys. And he looks like that. And he has a yellow stripe in his hair. Like that one person from Haikyuu. And yeah. And he's, in a suit and all. And Inko's like, Hisashi, I missed you. As Izuku's like, oh yeah, hi Dad. As Hisashi looks to the ground like, you look so cute, Izuku. How old are you? As Izuku's like, oh, I'm 16. As Hisashi's like, oh. Windows EXE is shutting down. And Hisashi then looks to his son like, but you're very short. As Izuku's like, it's my quirk, okay? And then they go to Hawaii. For the entire 10 months, Izuku was going to be there. So, halfway through the trip, Izuku and his family were really enjoying it. Izuku is, he was at a shop one time, and he found this mysterious stone. And the vendor named it a thunderstone because it held great electric power. As Izuku It's like, oh, this looks cool, as he puts it in his pocket. And Izuku then went swimming. And Izuku, who was actually surfing on his paddleboard, he hits a really big wave, and he hits the water, but right as he does that, the mysterious thunderstone comes out of his pocket and hits him in the head. And then he starts glowing. Izuku's like, I'm evolving again? As he turns into an Alolan Raichu. Oh, let me find a picture for that, guys. One sec. Anyway, I'll continue it while I do that. So, Izuku and his family then go to the hotel, and they're all really surprised with the... it's hard to multitask, guys, sorry. Just let me do this. Okay, and it'll look all nice. Okay, let's continue this. So, Izuku meets up with his family at the hotel, and Hisachi's like, that was fun, guys. Anything else you guys want to do today? As he then looks at Izuku like, you're orange, you've grown taller, and now you have a surfboard for a tail? As Inko's like, did something happen, Izuku, sweetie? As Izuku's like, oh, I'm fine, Mom. Don't worry. And Izuku then is like, I'm just not going to tell them about what happened. And then Hisashi's like, tell us what happened. And Izuku's like, that's exactly what I just said, okay? And he then explains to them how he went to the store and he bought this really weird thunderstone. And when he was surfing, the stone hit him on the head and he evolved. As Inka's like, interesting. I wonder if you have more forms. And Hisashi's like, this seems like it could be the end of them. I mean, at least you got up to 3 feet. And Izuku looks over to his mom like, so when are we going back to Japan? I actually need to do some training and studying for the UA exam. And Inka's like, oh yeah. Hisashi, we'll have to leave in next week, okay? As Hisashi's like, oh, okay. As Inka's like, oh, is that fine with you? As Hisashi's like, oh yeah, it's totally fine. As the next week, Inko and Izuku go over to the airport and say goodbye to Hisashi as he goes back to Japan. And then, for the rest of the summer, he does his training. He gets better at surfing, and he actually develops water moves with it. He also learned how to do something while he was doing a little fashion show with Bakugo one day. He went into a scientist costume, and he then shot out his finger like, this is so weird, Bakugo. And Bakugo's like, I know. As he sends a massive electric bolt, like, what was that? And Bakugo's like, interesting. As he hands him a blue dress, like, try this on. As he comes out and points his finger again, and a new ability. As Izuku's like, this can work. As he then gets into Macho Libre stuff, and he uses a fighting move. I'll say Superman punch. I forgot the name. Sorry, guys. Why did I say Superman? Well, I'll just say superpower. He got superpower. Anyway, when the summer ends, Izuku walks up to UA and then looks at it like, I'm so short compared to these people. As he's all nervous. And he's like, at least I've grown taller. As now he's 4 feet. Still a pipsqueak, though. Anyway, when Izuku finishes the test for the verbal exam, Ida interrupts President Mike while he's explaining the practical exam, and Ida then points to Izuku mid rant, and Izuku's like, "What did I do?" As Ida's like, "You've been very disruptive. You keep mumbling. Stop that." And Izuku's like, I can't help it, okay? As Ida's like, "You can." As Izuku's like, "Okay." And onto the practical. When it starts, Izuku and his Izuku, when it starts, he goes out for the robots, and he uses quick attack and quickly gets over to the robots. And he immediately headbutts one of the robots into a wall, and it was a 3-pointer, and Izuku's like, "That really hurt." As he then sees 20 robots approaching him, like, that's a lot of robots. As he jumps back and then says, "Thunderweb," as he shoots it out of his tail. And it traps all the robots. And that's when Izuku then shouts, "Thunderbolt!" As all the robots are electrocuted and overran with all the electricity they're getting. And they all just shut down as Izuku powers through his electro weapon, uses headbutt, destroying all 20 robots. And he then sees on the point board 81 points, Izuku Midoriya. And Izuku's like, "Yes." And yeah. So, Izuku and, why do I keep saying and? When the exam ends eventually, I'll say he doesn't run into Uraraka this time because, I'll say one of the rubble that Uraraka fell on was one of the robots he destroyed. And Izuku ended the exam with 145 points. He felt really confident in it, too, because he saw he was top. And, yeah. Anyway, Izuku, 4 weeks later, got something in the mail. And Izuku's like, "Oh, what could that be?" As he gets the letter and opens it, and it's like... And then here's a hologram, like, "I am here." As Izuku's like, "All Might!" As All Might then explains to him, like, "Welcome to Your Hero Academia. You scored the most points in the entrance exam. And yeah, welcome to Class 1A of UA High School." And yeah. And we continue that, and when Izuku eventually finds Class 1A, after lots of searching, he starts off a conversation with one of the girls that he met, that he has a bit of a crush on, called Uchaku Uraraka, that he had just been introduced to. And Izuku's like, "Hi, Ochaku." As Ochaku's like, "Oh, hi, Deku." And Izuku's like, "What do you call me?" As Uraraka's like, "Oh, to me, the name Deku means awesome." As Izuku blushes, like, "Thank you." And yeah. As Ochaku picks him up, like, "Why are you so cute?" As Izuku blushes hard, like, "Okay." And yeah. That's what we'll be living off of, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah. First controversial video. It's just the ship I support, guys. I don't hate on any ships, but some are weird. I'll say that. Yeah. Anyway, yeah. This is Call Me Rushed, signing off. Bye-bye. Come on.